Hello, fellow LibriVoxers. This is Phil Chenevert, and it's April of 2019, and I'm using Audacity to edit a recording. I've done this several times in the past, but I realize they're all outdated by now. This is an example of how I edit a recording. Please excuse my mouth pops and clicks and my uhs and ahs because I'm doing this on the fly, as they say. By the way, let's see. This is chapter 15 of The Cowardly Lion of Oz. Let's see if I'm recording. Yes, I'm recording. Wow, I'm always excited when that happens. Now, like I say, this is just an example. This doesn't mean you have to do it this way, but I record in one swell foop. I record the whole thing. As I make mistakes, I simply repeat the word until I get it right, or it sounds right, or the phrase, and then I keep on recording, all until I have one nice track. This is a short track. This is maybe 18 minutes long, very short. The very first thing I do, I just opened up, whoops, this is the wrong track. Let's open up 15. In some cases, I record the whole book before I start. Who knows what I do? I'm an old guy. Nobody really gives a darn anyway. Okay, chapter 15, Mustafa Keeps Watch. The first thing I do is you'll notice that I have the text here in the background, and I bring up my Audacity file. Okay, this one's pretty good. Okay. Let's go back to the beginning. This one is... No. There's something wrong here. 3 minutes long? Well, okay. Either I made a mistake or this is it. Let me see. Mustafa Keeps Watch. This is right. So the first thing I do when editing, I might as well pretend I'm doing this, is I find a nice spot here where it's just ambient noise, and I analyze it. I plot spectrum. Not bad at all. But I always apply noise reduction before I start. I take my sample, pick the whole track, and then I apply noise reduction to the whole track. Now in this case, I'm putting 20 decibels down because it needs to be reduced. Next, I go to the beginning of the track. I'm going to wipe out this obvious mistake here and put my headphones on. Hang on there. If I were a good guy, I'd have a video, but I don't. Okay. Chapter 15 of The Cowardly Lion of Oz by Ruth Plummy Thompson. This LibriVox recording is in the public domain. Okay, I edit on as I move. I edit from my left all the way to the end of the track. As I finish a part, it is in my estimation worthy of being published. Now I'm going to remove a bit of this track. It's too much space and too much time in there, duration. Now I have my hotkeys set up to where I can automatically delete that. Public domain. Chapter 15. Mustafa Keeps Watch. Okay, that's too much. So. Mustafa Keeps Watch. So I'm just listening. Mustafa seated. I'm going to take off that. I don't know why that. The latest edition of Audacity, which, by the way, this is 2.3.0. Whoops, just lost it. It inserts those whenever I make a stop. Now, what I do when I'm recording, I just press pause and walk off and do something else, go get a drink or something. Mustafa. Now, listen to that. I don't know where that's coming from. That's... my microphone, something's weird happened. I think my cat stepped on some button or something. So I'm going to take that off. Mustafa, seated on his blue throne, stared steadily at his magic ring. Now there was you hear that? Maybe you can't hear that. His magic ring. What I did was I just take it out. I've got my hotkey set up to where it finds the zero crossings and it deletes that, and then it just continues recording. It's all set up to save time. His magic ring. He had done little. There's a little mouth click there. He had done little else since Bob and Notta's departure, and I'm removing things. And in consequence was beginning to squint fearfully. On his lap lay the lion book, and when he was not gazing at his ring, the There's too much space in there. The blue-whiskered monarch looked longingly at... Now, you see, when I'm recording, I just keep saying it until it just sounds right. Monarch looked... So, cut that out. Whiskered monarch looked longingly at... And, of course, once I do the cut, it puts it back about a second so I can hear what it sounds like. Whiskered monarch looked longingly at the picture of the cowardly lion. In the... Ooh, a lot of glunk. The cowardly lion. Now, I also have a program to where I can reduce that noise automatically. In the corner of the tent in a large cage. In one corner of the tent. Let's see what that says. In one corner. In the corner of the tent in a large cage. In one... See, I misread that and I went back and I read it again. So, I just take it out. In one corner of the tent, in a large cage. Now, I didn't have to make any clicks or pops or notations because when I listen to a track, I can tell it's not right, so take it out. In one corner of the tent, in a large cage, crouched the 20 uns Notta had wished into Mudge, and in the tent top were 20 blue patches where they had burst through. That's a little bit too much. Blue patches where they had burst through. That sounds better to me. At first, Mustafa had been terribly angry and ordered the featherheads thrown to the lines. A lot of this is feel. The dialogue doesn't sound right, so and ordered the featherheads thrown to the lines. Or add. But Mixtuppa, pleased by the color and brilliancy of their feathers, begged that they be saved, so she might always have... too much space. Saved, so she might always have fresh feathers for her turbans. Then the uns, seeing that Mustafa was almost so wicked and bad-tempered as themselves, promised to teach him all the Unish they knew, so that every hour Mustafa was growing unhappier and unpleasanter. Panapee stepped about Too much time. Panapee stepped about breathlessly on tiptoe. Panapee stepped about breathlessly on tiptoe. Now, once again, I just see a mistake, and when I'm recording, since I just go ahead and keep repeating it until I get it right. Sometimes it'll take 3-4 times until it sounds right to me. I cut out the other ones, and there you are. About breathlessly on tiptoe, for each time Notta had done anything to turn Mustafa's ring black, the ruler of Mudge had flown at his royal chamberlain, Man, my voice was really rough at that time when I recorded this. Had flown at his royal chamberlain and shaken him unmercifully. Now, there you see, there's a big space here. I don't know why. I may have just stopped to do something else. Him unmercifully. He is escaping you. Now, this is obviously almost cut off here. It's almost too loud. So I have hotkeys built in that will reduce that by about 3. He is. You see, that's cut off. But that doesn't hurt the audio, really. He is escaping you, villain! Screamed Mustafa the first time. That was when... Screamed Mustafa the first time. He is escaping you. Where is that up here? He is escaping you, villain. Let me see what it's supposed to say. Screamed... He is escaping you, villain! Screamed Mustafa the first time. That's right. That was when Notta had determined not to betray his faithful 4-footed friend. Ah, that's it. Help! A little cough there. Help! Ouch! You know, I didn't do compression on this thing. I'm going to do it right now. I'm at 151. I will select the whole track, come up to Effect, and do compressor on it. It'll just bring down the peaks. It won't really affect much else. Help! Ouch! Does your Majesty expect to stop him by pulling my beard? Let go. Take off your ring, spluttered the unhappy Mudger. There was no magic in my whiskers. Now, if I had... Okay. There was no magic in... There was no magic... I see there's a bump there. I don't know what that is. I'm just going to reduce that. There was no magic in my whiskers. All I did was I reduced it because to eliminate it would change the timing of that. Now, if I had to redo that... There was no magic in my whiskers. I would come up here, like that says, there is no magic in my whiskers. I would hold my shift key down and record that phrase. There is no magic in my whiskers. Let's see what there is no magic in my whiskers. Click that. There is no magic in my whiskers. Chapter 15. Now you notice that it's right below here. I would copy that. Copy. Paste it up here. And then delete that track. For the unhappy Mudger. There is no magic in my whiskers. There was no magic in my whiskers. Now this is the one that I just did. If it was better, I would increase the volume and fluttered the unhappy Mudger. Delete the bad. There was no magic in... Okay, this is long enough. I mean, this is basically what I do. This is my editing technique. That's it. I'm going to stop this video. I don't know what else I need to show you because it's long enough.